Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Curious K podcast. It's been a while. I think we've been on break for 2 weeks now, but I'm very happy to be back. My name is Kolakboy if you're joining us for the first time. And if you don't know, Curious K podcast is a show where I meet with amazing startup founders, ecosystem enablers, VCs, policymakers, and everyone working to make entrepreneurship thrive on the African continent. And to this show, we are featuring a very good friend, an old pal, a veteran in the industry, and I'm very happy to welcome Edwin Ajogun on the show today. Edwin, thank you for joining us today on Curious K podcast.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Kolapo, for bringing me to this your wonderful platform.
Absolutely, it's great. So, how are you doing today, Edwin? How's it going?
It's been a long day. Just finished my own webinar, so it's kind of weird moving from being the one interviewing people to the one being interviewed. Just in really space of 20 minutes, but hey, it's good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. And I find that interesting because through the podcast, I get to ask a lot of questions, right? And when I'm presenting or having conversations and people are now asking me questions, it's like,
That's weird, right?
Yeah, it's kind of. Well, I mean, it's the best of both worlds. If you ask people questions,
Yeah.
you should be happy to answer other people's questions.
Yeah,
So I think
I understand. I was almost going to start saying, hello everyone, welcome to Tech Biz. I have to catch myself like, guys, it's not your show.
This is Curiosity Podcast.
Seriously. Yeah.
All right, nice. Yeah, so for guys listening or joining us, Edwin is currently the current director at Eko Innovation Centre, and he's responsible for program management. He created the Eko Innovation School for Culture program. He's designed the company first accelerator program. He's founded his own startup. I mean, he's done amazing stuff in the startup ecosystem in Nigeria. So I'd to have you again. I mean, on Curious K podcast.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. So thank you, Edwin, once again for joining us. So can you tell us about your entrepreneurship journey?
Hi guys. Thank you very much. My name is, of course, Edwin Ajogun. I'm country director of Eko Innovation Centre. So my entrepreneurial journey started from when I was in university. I started like two startups, Doteway Services and MedBuza, with my roommates back then in school. But then before I left, I launched e-Medrep technologies I joined Passion Incubator as an incubatee. I raised my first investment as an incubatee, a Passion Incubator, and I transformed my startup to become e-Medrep Nigeria Limited. When I exited the startup, I became a full-time program director at Passion Incubator, where I helped them to manage their programs, manage the startups, have them to basically organize themselves to be able to ensure that the startups that they have within them are generating income, and I can provide some reporting on that on all the startups. Sorry. So, of course, providing business support too for them to ensure that they're also making money. Then, from then on, I went to Lofty Alec Partners, which is one of Nigeria's foremost VC firms, indigenous VC firms. I was their national, or rather country head of corporate venture development. From then on, I went on to become country director of Eko Innovation Centre. Here at Eko Innovation Centre, we are big on driving employability and, of course, enterprise development. We create programs. We launch programs that are targeted at increasing the profitability of our startups, and even others around us. All others are engaged to us. Training of our programs is our dream, our vision, that we can take them from idea to commercialization. So we are involved in a lot of things, but our biggest pride and joy basically is our AOT program, which we hold every year. where we try to facilitate conversations between policymakers on four major pillars, um, which are sorry, access, infrastructure, talent, and funding. We've done three, but then pretty much what we do is just try to bring people together, talk, have conversations, build products, come up with policies that you can be able to, that we think will be able to, drive innovation and build up the tech ecosystem. So yeah, of course, as I said, that we have different other programs. We have the Mushroom, we have our Tech Biz community, which is a community of founders. We also have our accelerator program, our incubation program. We do support um, NGOs who have specific interest in driving employability and, of course, girl child empowerment, so like Africa Agility. We also do hackathons. We have a macaque coming up very soon. We also are bringing together, we like to facilitate interactions between investors and startups, and we have different programs that do that. So, yeah, that's what we do here. That's what I do, and that's what we do at the Eko Innovation Centre. So I'm glad to thank you very much, Kolapo, for bringing me on this show.
Absolutely. Thank you, Edwin, for giving us that background. So I just want us to go back a bit. You mentioned e-Medrep, one of the startup you founded in
Yeah.
your path building startups. Can you just give a background of the problem you're trying to solve then? What led to the idea? And what were like the key lessons learned in building e-Medrep?
Okay. So what started e-Medrep? So I had a friend that was sick. I went to the hospital then in Ife, and the person had some issues with the drugs they were taking, and I kind of like did that one small investigation, and we found out that the drugs were fake. But I mean, I got curious about it, and we had a very long conversation in the room that time, and we're like, okay, so how is it that a big school like my school, a big hospital like the hospital my university was running, and even at that size and stature, we were still having challenges with sourcing original medications. And I was really wondering that if this is so for a big facility like this, then how many people out there, how many stores out there are selling fake medication? So that was where I got that inspiration from, and I started going around. I went from state to state, meeting with pharmacists, trying to understand the pharmaceutical distribution network, the supply chain, and just to understand the key players and try to understand where the challenges are. And I was able to find that out, and I built a startup basically to digitize conversations, digitize the ordering systems between um, retail pharmacies and the legitimate suppliers of um, authentic medication. So I think that was at that time, that was like the first time that such an idea was ever proposed. And I mean, I remember that I wrote a paper on it, and I presented the paper to the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria at that time, and the paper was the basis upon which at that time the national distribution framework was designed. So yeah, it was a very fantastic journey for me. I mean, I was able to raise a little bit of money, have my own team. We did some fantastic work. We even won an award from NITSTAR as one of the most innovative startups in healthcare at that time. Went to Dubai. We did a lot of fantastic stuff. I would say my biggest challenges, my key lessons I learned when I was building my startup was really in picking the right team at the early stage, and of course, ensuring that you take care of the kind of funding arrangements you have with your first-time investors. I think, and this is not to say anything bad about my investors or anything, but I think if I could go back in time now, knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have made some concessions or some decisions that I made back then. I think I was still green in the around the gills when it comes to the entrepreneurial space and building a business. I didn't really understand it, and really, yeah, I would say that of course, then of course the need for driving your markets, getting you to the market as quickly as possible, selling your products. Um, so many lessons around technology, ensuring that you build the technology in house as quickly as possible, ensuring that you can get your beachhead market settled as quickly as possible. Just and of course, it was the biggest lesson I learned was knowing your numbers at that point in time. Um, Knowing which numbers to know, how to gauge your company's approach, your profitability, your your cost of acquisition, just all these numbers you are using to run your business, you'll be able to know them at all times. So, yeah, so many things that I learned, and yeah, I think I'm in a better place for it.
So you mentioned something about building your technology in house, and as you know, one of the
Yeah,
biggest challenges facing startups in Nigeria right now is talent, tech talent, right?
yeah.
I mean, it's hard for
Mm-hmm.
you to find the right tech talent on your team. It's even expensive for you to keep them. So as at then, what was the
Mm-hmm.
process like for you, and what was the time you were building e-Medrep? Can you just give us the time? The
2016 thereabouts.
Okay. So what was it like building the
Mm.
technology? Was it built in house? What was the process like?
So when I raised my first investment, all I had was a pitch deck. Um, so, but the agreement I had with my first investors was that they would take up the responsibility of building my first product, right? And yeah, that was that was the agreement we had. But then, even that arrangement, I had challenges with it because the people who were supposed to be working on my product, basically, guys were doing it as a side business for a, just someone that's, the MD said, "Oh, this is the guy that I want you to help you to build this thing," and there was no full commitment from the team at that particular point in time. So we ended up spending about 6 months just to get the MVP out. So by that time, we lost a lot of ground in the market. We lost a lot of time. And so looking back, I think when I say build your product in house, I mean it's always great to have not a company but a person within your team whose responsibility is to ensure that the app is ready. I'm not a responsibility, but someone who has the talent, to ensure that the app is ready and or your apps are ready, your website are ready, all your tech platforms are working smoothly. And yeah, so I mean that's a really big challenge. And I hear what you say about talent now. And so I think for them then it was not necessarily, I wouldn't call it a challenge at that time. It was a challenge, but then one of the one of the things that we got with our incubator then, Passion Incubator, I mean, they said that we were able to match us with people that can be able to build our product for us. And but even at that, there was some flaws in that arrangement. But I would say finding someone who's a tech CEO, who's a tech co-founder on your team is is a blessing. And I think the best place to find them as people that are still in schools, you need to be able to be flexible with the expectations you're expecting from someone that's building your product, especially still if it's still young and um, young and you young and not yet as good as you want him to be, but then he can get you your MVP. And I think what I would advise a lot of founders is that they shouldn't be too obsessed with getting the perfect product at the start. I think that's one of the things that you know a lot of founders get stuck in, and they kind of like find themselves going around and around in circles for a long period of time, actually achieving a lot. I think for me, especially, but then it's subjective because it's kind of like depending on the kind of project I build. I mean, if I build a financial services platform that involves people's money, I mean, your app has to be top notch, right? Security, functionality, user UI, UX, everything, and so on and so forth. But then there are a lot of startups that founders who are too obsessed with the app. They think the app is the product, but sometimes the app is not a product. The app is just an enabler, right? And I've seen this a lot, especially in my venture building career, and I'm like, the time that you should focus more on, building the market, getting the market sorted out, getting your first customers. What you should worry about is getting your MVP, and a lot of times, you don't necessarily need a fantastic tech talent to do that, right? You can just start with something, anything at all. Just ensure you're engaging your customers and you're generating income from them. And with the income you are getting, you can be able to hire more talent. You can be able to even outsource some things. But then the core of it is that you must have someone within your team who is helping to manage that process, who understands, may not necessarily be able to build what you want, but understand what is needed and can be able to guide whatever partner you're using to build a product to be able to ensure that your product is built to the best way to the best point where it can be able to achieve the company's goals.
Yeah. So let's talk about funding now. For you, then, how was it like raising your first check? And Can you just also give a
Wow.
comparison to what is now happening in terms of funding in the ecosystem generally in Nigeria? Uh, so your perspective will be as a founder and also as a venture builder or ecosystem builder.
So, so the good thing about the good thing about me is that I have kind of like experience from both sides of the coin. Being a founder myself, and I just have to say that, I mean, nowadays entrepreneurs have it easy. I mean, you're a founder, so you know what you have to go through to raise our first $10,000 check. I mean, the countless meetings, you know, all the events we have to go to just to go and put our product in the faces of some people that might just give us about 10,000, 20,000. I mean, back then raising $50,000 was like what? I mean, the El Dorado at that point in time. I remember that first time we heard about this travel starts raising about 500, was it $50,000 in like 3 months, and we're all like, wow, how did they do this? How did they do it? Why did they manage to do that? And we're all crazy about $50,000, and now it's like, I mean, people are doing 50,000 per seed. I mean, I heard. I mean, we know of what's her name, Honey Ogunde, that raised about how many $2.1 million for an editor startup with just a pitch deck, without a product. I mean, we've come a long way, right? So, I mean, my own journey, for me, if I remember correctly, I mean, I had to. There was a meeting in Abuja. I was in Lagos, if I remember correctly, and I was told that there's a potential for meeting investors there. And this was the time when it was first scarcity, and I had to basically enter a petrol tanker from
Really?
Benin. I'm serious. I'm not joking with you.
This is
I
the first time I'm
entered a
hearing
petrol
this story,
tanker.
Edwin.
Oh, I never told you before. Wow. Okay. There was no fuel. There were no buses. I mean, the time. This was like around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I needed. I think the event was like 12 p.m. or 11 p.m. thereabouts. Um, I needed to be there, and there was absolutely no buses because there was no fuel. So I just saw a tanker going. The tanker was just passing by. Stop was asking that, okay, anybody that's going towards Abuja, um, just jump in. Everybody was like, the guy would charge like what, 2,000 naira or 10,000 naira there back. I can't remember. And me, yeah, there I was, a 21, 22-year-old. I think. I mean, no experience, nothing, and I just like, you know what? I really need to get. I really need to get to Abuja, and I entered this tanker with them. I mean, with their bucket of piss at the back. I mean, sweat, no AC. I had to like stay at the back, and I went all the way to Abuja, and it was a scary experience, but it was fun. And I got there, and then so that's where I met my first investors. I met them for the first time. Went to Dubai after that. From Dubai, we came back to Nigeria, and I had to go to their office 3 times a week for about 4 months, 4 to 6 months. Yeah,
Before you
and
signed the
every time
deal.
I go, before they sign the deal, so every time I go there, I have to like sit in their office for like minimum of 3 to 4 hours, because the company is structured in such a way that there are 4 directors, and each director has to give an okay before they can make any financial decision. So I had each and every director, right? And note that these guys are never around. They're always traveling. They're always in meetings. They're always meeting. So I will go there. Oh, I want to see this person. Oh, he's not available now. Wait for him, and I will wait. And obviously, I was not a priority, so he would take all his other meetings before he finally meets me. Then he will not ask me a bunch of questions. Then he will not bring their head of marketing and head of sales. Do we do this or don't do this? And I will keep on coming. I came every single day. At a point, by the 4th month, I think the security men already knew me. I didn't even have to sign in again. I was like a staff. Everybody knew where I was going to. Oh, yeah, here again. Oh, he's in his office waiting for you. Just go and wait in the reception area. Oh, yeah, as usual. Yeah, I'll just stand there. And I'll make sure I go to my phone fully charged. So I plug my earpiece and actually, going to the market to go some clients. But then the mentality then was that the success was rated by how much you'll be able to raise, and if you'll be able to get commitment of someone that doesn't know you from anywhere to put their money in your business. So, I mean, I completely ignore the fact that success is actually how much people I'm actually engaging and selling to, which is something that looking back now I understand. But then I didn't know that. But then I mean, well, grateful for the lessons, right? So I had to go down after everything, the 6 months, the tankard ride, everything. I was only able to raise like what 10 million naira, was then, which now is like what yeah, no, like $20,000 now. Yeah, $20,000 now, right? And I gave $20,000 away for like what? And when they asked me for 35% of my company, I said yes because I didn't have a choice. I mean, you don't go to a person office for 6 months and it offers you a deal and you say no to it, right? I mean, $20,000 for what 65% of my company. Then that was like what I mean, and to make matters worse, it's not that they were giving me the money in bulk. They were giving me the money in office space. They were giving me money by paying salaries. And every time I needed money to do anything, I had to make a request for that money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that request, I had to go and convince the four directors before they released the money. So there was a time I remember very clearly. There was a time that I wanted to buy. I wanted to. I was applying some medications, and I needed to buy. We were making some sales. I needed to buy extra products. I needed about 2 million or 1 million, but I needed to buy systems. I needed to hire new staff and stuff. And it took me 3 months to get approval for them to release about 4 million naira. 2 months. 2 months.
Mm.
So aside from my salary, nothing else was everything else was I had to go and raise money for it. I had to go and basically start the process over again. So I lost a lot of time. The deal was horrible for me. But then I'm grateful for rest. And we still, despite all the challenges, we still able to do a lot of good. Talking about it now is giving me memories. But I'm really it's fantastic, and yeah, we had. I'm happy for them now. I mean, now there's a lot of investor funds coming to Nigeria. I mean, I think we have raised about I think we had like 1 point something billion dollars out of 4 billion that Africa raised like last year.
Yeah, that's right.
So I
1.5.
mean, we are showing now that we are a good market to invest in, and fintech is doing us a lot of problem. Fintech is doing us proud. And Della too has been doing us proud. And people are beginning to take more notice, and it's not as difficult as it was before. I
Mm.
mean, yeah, people are walking away from deals that are bad for them now. I mean, everybody knows what is good and what is not good, and I'm happy for them. And I just think about the past and I smile, and I just hope and I hope and pray that this trend continues and of course leads to more investment into the tech space.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk about your work at EIC, Eco Innovation Center. You mentioned you're big about supporting entrepreneurs. Can you tell about some
Yeah.
of the programs that you run, and I mean what you're doing to just change the status quo in the system
Okay.
right now?
So I'm going to do you a solid. I'm going to announce um, for the first time um, about a little program that's coming up real soon. I'm not yet put it out in public yet, but because I'm a very good friend, I'm going to announce it here for the first time.
Oh,
We
Edwin.
have an accelerator. Yeah, the first Eko Innovation Centre accelerator program is going to be coming out the core application is going to be launched very soon. And it's a $50,000 fund, $50,000 for each startup that we choose. We're looking at between 3 to 5 adults. We're going to accelerate them to get them their first 10,000 customers, the next 10,000 customers by connecting them with industry corporates who can be able to accelerate them to that particular number and who have interest or similar interest in the same industry and can accelerate them to a particular number. Sorry. Then of course we're providing funding, we're providing training, and not just training, but training that it's relevant to their businesses. So we'll be giving you training on strategy. We have some fantastic hands here. We'll be training on legal, IP protection. Of course, we're also partnering with an American venture firm to prepare the startups for raising funding from multinational multinational
VCs.
investors, VCs, had to register their companies in the US. We also provided that service to us for the that are going to be in the ambassador program. So if you just selected, we can help you to register a company in the US, so you can be able to get funding from from foreign investors. So yeah, and that's and many other things. Of course, office spaces also will be involved, and it's going to be a fantastic experience for 3 months. Then, of course, like I mentioned before, you'll be giving them 50K for 10% of their company. All right, so that's basically what we're going to be launching very soon, and I'm glad to be announcing that on this platform. Other things we do hackathons. We also have Mac Hack that's coming up very soon. Mac Hack is one of Nigeria's first marketing and media tech hackathons. We will be hosting that. We'll be hosting that in May. We also have a convention coming soon. Although I'm not announcing that, but I'm not going to more details than that. But it's going to be very interesting. It's going to involve a lot of going to involve Silicon Valley, basically. Of course, we have AOT. We have our mushroom event, which we hold to engage basically tech talents, just to engage them with industry players to be sure that they are aware of the new tools and the new tools, new skill sets are available, new technologies are available, and how they can use that to be able to grow themselves in their careers and maybe even build products for themselves. Then, of course, we have the Tech Biz, which we hold every Thursday. And, of course, the Tech Biz community, which is a fantastic community of founders and tech entrepreneurs. So, yeah, this is just some of the things we do. We're launching this open mic. We have a gameathon coming up soon. We have an EIS, which is our school where we train on technology skills, tech skills, product management, data science, VR, VX, data security, information security. We have collaborations with Halogen, with Amazon, AWS. So there's a lot of things that we do, a lot of programs are involved in. If you follow us on Instagram at Eko Innovation Centre, you see all our activities, even on LinkedIn. If you search for us, Eko Innovation Centre, you can see all our activities, both ongoing and upcoming, and you can be able to participate and we try to encourage founders and even tech enthusiasts people who want to start their career in tech to always be involved in all our programs, so you can be able to see what's going on and find your place. And of course, we provide you all the support, training wise, funding wise, space wise, to ensure that you are able to achieve your goals.
Amazing. And so what is happening now in terms of, I mean, we've spoken about funding. I mean, we've had conversation about talent. What about infrastructure and and the government's contribution to the tech ecosystem? What can you say is like missing, and what do you think can be done to improve maybe policies that will drive maybe more investment, or maybe growth of talent, and all that to just make the ecosystem grow better?
So I think the foundation for everything is really having a conversation, which is why we are very big on AOT. Because if you don't talk, you really cannot figure out where each other's pain points are. I know that the government is really trying its best to, provide all these things within its own limitations, to provide an enabling environment for, startups. And I'm really grateful for the Lagos State government and even the Office of the Special Advisor on Innovation, Mr. Tuboson Lake. He's really one of our major. He's one of our major cheerleaders within the government, and we need more people like him, in strategic places in government. And I think that's one of the things that we're looking at. We are missing, basically. We need people who have the visionaries, who are the vision, and who are visionaries in basically looking at what we have and what we need to put this in place. I mean, I think a lot of things need to be invested in the infrastructure. A lot of things need to be invested in curriculum, talent training, maybe even building a talent producing mechanism that is outside the school system. I don't know. I think it's really down to policies, like you said. But then to be able to do this, there has to be some amount of interest, movements, financial movements, policy movement from the part of the government to ensure that this happens. And I think we are on our way there. Startup Bill has shown that the government is interested in our space. I mean, they've seen what we've been able to achieve so far. I mean, tech is estimated to create about 3 million jobs in 2025. So there's a lot of everybody can see, even the blind man can see that tech is the way forward. I mean, for Nigeria, and then and then we are really excited to see what the government is doing, and with Startup Bill, and of course with True BOI, and of course Dr. Luka, the picture is very very big supporter of startups and their endeavors. So these are things that we are hoping that we have more people like this. I think for government, it's really about having people who are interested in startups in the cycles of power. And when we start having more people like this in government, we'll be able to see changes soon.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as we round up, Edwin, is there any other thing you'd like to share with us?
Like everyone that's listening to just follow Eko Innovation Centre, and just to see what we're doing, and I think just to really participate in our programs. For those who are non-tech founders, who want tech founders, I mean, just go and see what we're doing and just try and participate. Of course, thank you again for this amazing opportunity, and I really enjoy what you're doing, and I think I really want to see how far you can grow, because this is a very 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 fantastic platform. And of course, I'll just drop a little nugget for aspiring founders. I mean, I'll just tell you straight up, right? It's not easy, right? Entrepreneurship is not a get rich quick scheme. You need to be able to do the work. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. Fortunately for us, we are in a market where there's so many problems, and this is a good thing. I mean, there's so many problems. There's so many things that we can do. So many things that need disruption. Healthcare needs disruption. Fintech still need. I mean, as much as fintech has come far, I mean, there's so much to be done. Agency networks need to be optimized. So many things that need to be done. I mean, we've not even scratched the surface on what we can do with VR, with IoT, with AI.
Blockchain.
So I just really want people to. I mean, I really want entrepreneurs, people who are, who are inclined to building products, to really get their thinking caps. If you have any fantastic product you want to build, please reach out to us at Eko Innovation Centre. We are willing to support you with funding, with industry connections. We're willing to give you everything that you need to be able to build the next unicorn. For us, really, it's just about ensuring that tech ecosystem in Nigeria becomes, competitive with anything that's out there in the world, right? And I hope that we get there. I know we get there. Slowly but surely, we will definitely get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. I know we went through a lot before we were finally able to record this. A lot of network issues.
Like I said,
but
my wish were really working hard against me
to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Edwin, for being on the show.
No problem, bro.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to this episode of Curious K Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, feel free to share with your friends and family. And let's meet again next week. See you guys.